Yeah, I mean, if you can find him at 50-1, I'm all over that because at this point in the season, like those odds are not going to get better, assuming it's still possible, right? Like if Steph gets hurt, the odds are going to be completely out the window. You don't want to bet that anymore. But if you believe in them, you got to bet them as soon as possible. Once you get into the postseason, I'm a firm believer that anything is possible, and it really just becomes a question of who gets hot at the right time. And I can't think of many other guys in the NBA that have made a career out of getting hot at really, really good times other than Steph Curry. And especially like if this Clay to the bench thing works out the way that it did last night, maybe not to like to that extent, right? Because he went crazy last night. But if it works out even just a fraction of what it was last night, I think they're going to be in a pretty good spot. They have talent. It was just guys underperforming. Now, Draymond got to keep his head on straight, which is maybe the most difficult thing to account for the remainder of the season. But I mean, I'm such a Steph Curry fan, so like I love watching him, and what he's been able to do this season has been a ton of fun. If you can get him at 50-1, 60-1, I know they're 20-1 at BetMGM to win the West. I'm jumping all over that because I trust them more than I trust a team like a Dallas Mavericks, like a Minnesota Timberwolves.
Although old JB Bickerstaff, man, with Cleveland has done a great job with those Cavs.
I'm trying to. I'm squinting. Sean, I got four eyes, so maybe all four of them are missing. Where's Doc Rivers on this list? Is Doc not up? I mean,
he's going down the list. Keep going.
He's the all-star coach.
Further,
he's the all-star coach.
Little
he's
further.
not getting the coach of the year.
Trash. Unbelievable. I was thinking
so
that.
Bad.
Can you imagine that the Milwaukee Bucks decided in the offseason that they were going to let Mike Budenholzer go, who I would say is somewhere between a really good and a great coach, right? He won a championship. Mm-hmm. He had his team as the 1 seed 3 separate times. At least a really good coach. They thought they could do better. They decided to go with Adrian Griffin. It takes them less than half a year to say that's not our guy for Doc Rivers. Like, that was the answer to all their questions. And since then, he's coached 10 games for the Milwaukee Bucks that have Giannis, that went out and got Damian Lillard, that won an NBA championship a couple of years ago. And this genius of a coach that's going to solve all their problems is 3-7 in his first 10 games. I'm being dead serious with you, Denton Day. I'd fire his ass tomorrow. I'd bring back Budenholzer.
The Knicks, right now, all the injuries that have added up, if you want to bet the Knicks to win the Eastern Conference, you got to wait, right? Because you see them right now, you guys have it up at plus 700. Milwaukee, I am not worried about Milwaukee at all, and nobody should after seeing what they've become since hiring Doc Rivers, right? I mean, losing to the Grizzlies, losing to the Portland Trailblazers. I could put up 20 points on the Milwaukee Bucks, and I can't shoot worth crap. So that goes to tell you what I think about the Milwaukee Bucks and their chances in the postseason, even with Giannis and Dame. By the way, Dame hasn't had a great season. Cleveland's red hot, but I think if you want to take the Knicks, you wait because OG Anunoby's not coming back until next month. Julius Randle's not coming back until next month. Isaiah Hartenstein's a little bit banged up. So the Knicks are going to continue to take some lumps here out of the All-Star break. And I think you can maybe get them if you wait till the middle of March when Randle and OG come back. You could probably get them at plus 1,000, maybe even plus 1,200. And I think at that point, you see those 4 digits, that's the time you want to jump on the Knicks because I saw the type of team they were when they initially made that trade for OG Anunoby. They won 14 out of 16 games, and they had an average margin of victory by 18 points. The defense is built for the playoffs. Jalen Brunson is an absolute dog. I know Randall's postseason acumen is the big question, but they are the most complete team in the Eastern Conference when healthy, and I think they could even give Boston a run for their money. And if they see him in the Eastern Conference Finals at that point, roll the dice.
I'd play Jaylen Brown. I mean, he's the guy that I did play just because I'm not going to take a guy at minus 200 or minus 250, depending on what book you're shopping at. I would take Jaylen Brown. I don't have much of a file on Jacob Toppin. I know his brother, Obi Toppin's pretty good. I couldn't tell you where Jacob Toppin plays basketball, right? Like Jaime Jaquez, I know because I'm a big fan of college basketball. He's at UCLA, and he's in Miami. Where are the stars? You know what I mean? Like, where are the stars? It feels like we had so many years where you at least had good players in the dunk contest, and that sounds way more disrespectful than it's intended to. But if you're the main event of All-Star Saturday, you have to have guys that bring the eyes. It can't just be a bunch of, hey, nobody else wanted to do it. Here's your star. Here's your time to shine. The fact that you got a G League guy in here, yeah, he might be good, But at that point, if you're going to let a G League guy in there, let's just get professional dunkers in here. Like guys that actually make a living doing the dunking and coming up with new creative ways. If it's not stars, I want people that are professionals at this one specific thing. I'm bummed. I'm really bummed that this is what the dunk contest has become because, Sean, when I was growing up in middle school, I couldn't tell you how fun it was on Monday. I guess it was Tuesday because it's normally over President's Day. But on Tuesday, to get into like English class or homeroom or some area where I wasn't supposed to be talking in class, but I was because I was talking about how Nate Robinson jumped over Dwight Howard and he was wearing a kryptonite shooting sleeve. That was like the coolest thing ever when I was 13 years old. And now we're getting like Jaylen Brown is cool, but he's the only one that I can really argue for as to why I should watch this. This should not go on last. It should go on first. You should put the 3-point contest on last. That's a true main event.
I got a guy at 11-1 that I think is going to win the MVP award, and his name is Tyrese Halliburton. Not just because he should be in the actual MVP conversation. That guy can do everything on the court for a Pacers team that's overachieving, for sure. But the game is in Indiana, and he's going to be on the court a lot. It's a tough one to nail because literally, I mean, everybody's on the board. You can get Devin Booker at 12-1, SGA at 14-1, Doncic at 18-1, not bad. Donovan Mitchell 22, Jalen Brunson 30-1. So literally, I mean, all the way down to Kawhi at 50-1 and Maxey at 80-1. The longest shot on the board, if you got a bigger pair than me, you can play Paolo Banchero at 200-1 or Scotty Barnes at 250-1. But I think that you're actually getting pretty good value at 11-1 on Tyrese Halliburton.
Not a single chance. Here's the thing. UConn is by far, to me, the best team in college basketball, but the idea of repeating in the NCAA tournament feels like fool's gold, right? You have to be like this unbelievable above and beyond team, and they're good, but I don't think anybody's great this year in college basketball. If they get to a stretch in the NCAA tournament where those threes aren't falling, I think there's going to be a little bit of trouble for UConn. So I am, as much as I like the team, I'm not taking them to repeat at 7-1. If you gave me 20-1, I would entertain that. But on the repeating thing, that's a no from your boy.
Pop quiz, hot shot. Who was the last college basketball team to repeat?
I imagine it was UNC or Duke, but because you're in Kansas, I'm going to say the Jayhawks.
Florida? Joakim Noah?
Oh, I literally was just talking to one of their coaches an hour ago.